So you can always press pause if you sort of need to get caught up. I'm going to sort of go through these and make sure we're okay with answers, but I'm just not going to give as much explanation as I did in the starting video. So when we go through here on number 2, we see that our y's have the matching coefficient of the 1s. Okay, but they're not the opposite signs, so I'm going to multiply through by the -1. So on top, I'll have 3x plus y equals 20. On bottom, I'll have -1x minus y is a -12. Now I can add, so my y's cancel. I'll get 2x equals 8. So my x value is 4. I can then plug that back in over here for x, so we'll say 4 plus y equals 12. Y equals 8, and so we'll have an answer of 4, 8. Number 3, our x values already have a matching coefficient, but again, they are the same sign, so we want to deal with that negative. So my top equation is going to stay the same. My bottom equation is what I'm going to change. So my x's cancel. So we're going to take 77 plus a -53, which will give us 24. Okay, that's y, so make sure you watch what we solve for. We solve for y, so now we're going to plug this one in for y. I guess I'll plug it in here. 5x plus 3 times 6. We'll subtract the 18. Divide by the 5. And we'll get x equals 7. So I'll have 7, 6. Number 4 does not have any matching coefficients, so we're going to need to multiply. Okay, I'm going to multiply by a 2 to make my x's match, but because they're the same sign, I'm going to multiply by a -2. So my top equation is going to stay the same. I did multiply through here, but -2 times 0 is still just 0. So it tells me a y equals -1. Plug that y back in. I get x equals 2, so I have 2, -1. Number 6, again, we already have matching and they're already opposite signs, so we can just add those straight down. My x's will cancel. I get 2y equals 9. Right? It is okay to get fractions. Oops, sorry, I'm kind of cutting you off there. We can have this as 4.5. You could turn this into 4.5. You could leave it as 9/2. Again, as long as you're not rounding, that's the key. So let's see, I'm going to plug this back in, I guess, to the top one. So 2x plus 4.5. Oops. So 2x equals -1.5. -3/4. So our answer will then be a -3/4, comma 9/2. Again, 4.5, 4.5. If you worked with a decimal, this would be a -0.75. That would be fine. Number 7, we have matching coefficients on the 7. We just need to deal with the negative. Top equation is going to stay the same. All right, I'm going to multiply through by the negative to make them opposite signs so I can add. Okay, we'll plug that back in. So 14 plus 7y is a -7. Y equals -3, so we'll have 7, -3. No matching coefficients on 8, so we're going to have to multiply both of these through. I'm going to use sort of a pencil here so we can sort of keep telling what I'm writing. Let's see. I'll turn these both into 12. So you could do like 4 and 6 here to swap. I see that they both can become a 12, so I'm going to do a 3 and a 2. Again, it doesn't necessarily matter so much what you multiply by. Again, the key is that you just need to get them to match. I'll add those. Let's get y equals 5. Again, we can plug into either one of these up here. I'm going to plug into the top one. So we'll say 6x plus 3 times 5 equals 27. If you chose to multiply by a different number or to plug into a different equation, that's totally fine. Your work might look different, but your answer in the end should be the same. So just because you're seeing different work doesn't mean that that's why you got a different answer. Your answer in the end should be the same. So for this one, we should have a final answer of 2, 5. Number 10. Let's see. I can multiply by 2 on the top. So if you decided to get rid of the x's and multiply both rows, that would also be fine. We add. So we get a weird fraction here, but that's okay. We're just going to deal with it all the way through. I think I'll plug this into the top one. So I'm going to multiply that times 4. I'm going to subtract it from both sides. And I'm going to divide by the negative. So again, weird answer, but 41/11 and 8 and 10/11.